22. 22 veterans a day and 1 active duty service member a day take their own life by their own hand. According to a VA study from 2012, these are the numbers that they have come up with. Having polled 21 states, this only counts the veterans in those states that are actually registered through the VA. In order to combat this, veterans in the veteran community have come up with several ways of their own to try to take 22 a day and turn it into 22 until none. Part of that is what we call the Spartan Pledge. The Spartan Pledge simply states, I will not take my own life by my own hand until I talk to my battle buddy first. My mission is to find a mission to help my warfighter family. Now the rest of this entire presentation is my opinion, as it documents my journey with my own struggles with PTSD and suicidal ideations. One of the things that I've noticed, having dealt with post-traumatic stress disorder for several years now, is looking at the side effects that are listed on the bottles and the medications that were prescribed for me from the DoD and the VA. The number one side effect listed in every single one of these medications is suicidal ideations. Knowing this, I made a decision to get off the medications and do something different. So the first thing that I had to do inside myself was see it as a decision to make rather than a choice to have. To me, a decision is something that is completely dynamic and unstoppable. Once you've actually made the decision, nothing can stop you from accomplishing your goal. To me, a choice is something that is completely static. I can choose to do something, but unless internally I actually make the decision to get up and do it, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. So I have to make a decision to get up, to get off the couch, and to do something new. Something different. The Army and the VA both prescribed with me medications to take and offered several different types of counseling for me to do. I did one-on-one counseling and I tried group counseling. One-on-one counseling after going through about 11 different therapists, and group counseling after getting kicked out of anger management for being too angry. I realized that standard therapy was not going to work for me. Now allow me to back up a little bit and remind you that there is no cure-all, there is no band-aid or one-size-fits-all cure for post-traumatic stress disorder, which the number one side effect for post-traumatic stress disorder that's damaging our warfighter and our veteran communities is suicide. So what I'm offering is an option not to do it the way I did it, but to find your own way. To make that dynamic choice, that dynamic decision to get up off the couch and to do something proactive in your own healing journey. It starts with having choices. For me, those choices were laid out in front of me were pretty simple. My faith, because I believe in God. Music, because I was already a musician. Gardening was actually a simple choice for me because for 20 years of my life, I grew up being a landscaper. But there's so many more, so many different things that can be done. And veterans every day are getting off the couch and they're making decisions to do things such as horseback riding, equestrian therapy, horticultural therapy, working on farms or in gardens, art therapies, musical therapies. I have found, and with everyone that I have talked to in the community that has done it, that's anything within the creative arts form of lifestyle, whether it be art, painting, drawing, writing, musical, anything like that, building, creating, something where you give birth to something gives you more of a fighting chance to get better and get past what you're going through. For me, my faith was very pivotal because I already believed in God, but it gave me the opportunity to sit down and actually spend more time in my Bible and learn more about what I actually believed and why. Music for me was a no-brainer because I was already a musician. I'd already recorded music. I'd already performed live in front of people. And so doing that as a form of therapy just came natural. Gardening, to actually get out and have my hands in the dirt, my hands in the soil, and to actually feel the healing process take hold, where I could completely let go mentally and allow my body to go on autopilot, digging, pulling weeds, harvesting fruits, picking off dead leaves, picking out bugs from my garden, and allow my mind to actually finally take the time to process all the things that I had been through. but then to actually see the joy of life growing in my garden. Whether it was wheat that I grew, whether it was sweet potatoes, whether it was onions or chives, fruits or vegetables. But there's so many more, so many different things that can be done, and that veterans are doing every day. My point being, stop relying on just therapy and pills and get up and do something active on your own. So what are you already interested in? What could you already be using, whether it's video game playing, drawing, writing, creative? Look, if you find yourself sitting around daydreaming about things that you wish you would have done, or making up your own little film ideas or movies in your head, things like that, those are things that you could be using as your own form of therapy that you're already using and you don't even realize. So I encourage you, get up, get off the couch, and get active. For me, I got started with stopping the medications that I was on. Now, I'm not going to tell you just to stop taking the pills that they have you prescribed for. Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed psychologist yet. All I can tell you is that what I did for me was I slowly, one by one, transitioned off the medications that I was on onto an organic supplement difference. The organic, I have found, in my opinion, for me, works a million times better than any medication that they had me prescribed for. I don't have any of the side effects anymore. I'm no longer suicidal. I don't have any of those issues anymore. But again, I'm not saying that that's for everybody, because for some people you come off the medications and it doesn't work as well for you. And I don't recommend doing it unless you're under a doctor's supervision. Okay? But you have to do something. You can't just sit there. So please get up and just get started. I encourage you to reach out and check on your buddies every day. In the Army, we call them battle buddies. I know in the Marine Corps, they call them something else. In the Navy, they're called something else. But for me, being military, being Army, they're battle buddies. So check on your battle buddy. Check on them every single day. And just remember that healing takes time. It's not an instant thing. Okay? One of the ways that I found healing was writing a book that I actually had published. I'm not going to give you the website. I'm not even going to promote my book in it, except for the picture that's on the screen. But that was a form of therapy for me, writing that book. Okay? So please, let's stop with the 22 a day and make it 22 till none. No more. Zero. Not one person today. Nobody dies. Okay? Reach out to your friends. If you know they're struggling, reach out to them more often. If you're struggling, take the time to get up off the couch and reach out to a friend. Reach out to a battle buddy.